Good morning everyone, it's Dagmar Bryant. I thought I'd introduce myself a little bit differently today. So one of the key things that I'm working on is coaching, and I call myself a mindset coach, and that's why I'm doing all of these videos to help you focus on your mindset. Now, especially during this time of social distancing and lockdown, it's really important to focus on mindset. But the word that I wanted to introduce you today and talk to you about today was awakening. And I wanted to tell you a story about my own awakening many years ago. And this was when I was in my 30s. I was studying law. I did get to study law quite late. There are quite a few reasons for that, just because of the way that I finished high school and left home and all of that. But irrespective, I studied law in my 30s. And at the time, I was working with patent and trademark attorneys. And it came to a point where I realized that everything was coming to a head. We'd just finished this very difficult case where it was a victory for us, but by the same token, it didn't feel like a victory because this person had to basically defend their intellectual property. And I can't remember if it was a trademark or if it was a patent, forgive me for that. But irrespective, this man had spent $28,000 defending his intellectual property rights. And the law at that time basically said that the most that you can recuperate for damages is $1,000. And I got to this point where I'm thinking to myself, man, that is really messed up. I mean, who was the bright spark who decided that that was a fair outcome for anyone defending their property rights, intellectual property rights in this case, that you could only claim back $1,000? In my mind, that just made absolutely no sense. It was so, fucked up. And I was also studying, I was about halfway through my law studies at the time, and I got to the point where I was studying taxation law, and for some reason I could not get myself to start this particular subject. I just was dragging my heels and just didn't get into the books. And I just remember this one clear Sunday morning, and I was having this cup of coffee. Imagine similar to now, it's quite pleasant outside, you're having your coffee, you can hear the birds outside. And I had this aha moment. It was my moment of awakening, where I realized that I was just done in law. It was just so clear for me. It was like an instant click of the fingers snap that I knew that it was just done and I needed to follow another path. So for many of you, you might find your own awakening moments during this particular time. I know for those of you in emergency services, especially doctors, nurses, anyone working in hospitals or the healthcare industry, you might find at the end of this that you get really burnt out and you decide that you don't want to pursue the same career anymore. For those of you who are in lockdown, you might get your own awakening and decide, no, what I was doing before just wasn't suiting you anymore, and you might decide that you don't want to go back to that, or even if you do go back to that, you might go back to it only for a short period of time for a transition before you go into your new chosen career or hobby or whatever it is that it happens to be. Anyway, awakening is the word, and the time of awakening for you is now. Use this time to awaken your passion, awaken your senses, awaken your soul, and look forward to, I'd love to hear your stories. What have you done? What is your awakening? Have you already had an awakening? Is it something that you would like to share with me? I'd love to hear your stories, but take this moment, take this time to think about awakening your passion. Look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.